Hey guys. Before I get into the video, I will just ask you to subscribe. Subscribing doesn't negatively impact you whatsoever, but it very positively impacts me, so I recommend doing that. I've been thinking a lot about how emotions are signals from a body that loves you very much, and how every emotion is simply a signal and nothing more. It's a call to action. Um, and specifically fear, I've learned that fear is one of the greatest weapons that you could use against reality, because fear is a sign that you're moving in the right direction. The more fear that you feel, I guess the more of a boundary you're pushing, and that's awesome. When you see fear as only a sign that you're moving in the right direction and not as a signal to surrender or step back, then you really become an alchemist in your own reality. I see fear as the biggest test, as like that final test before you get everything that you want. You could be putting in all this work, you could be doing all of this uh, discipline, and you could be really climbing that hill. But then there's always a pivotal moment, whether it be a choice where you had to sacrifice something, or a time to push a boundary, or to reevaluate your morals. Whatever it is, there's a moment that defines your journey that's rooted in overcoming fear and being comfortable with being uncomfortable. Which sounds cliche, but things become cliche for a reason, right? When you feel that fear, I want you to think to yourself, this is the final challenge, and I'm ready to take it on. Fear becomes so exciting, becomes exhilarating when you realize this. I remember I switched career paths before I even got into the job market. I was very comfortable with going into psychology and becoming a licensed counselor. You know, the field is infinitely expanding and everyone needs a therapist nowadays. And it would give me security, but I realized I wanted to have a bigger impact on society. I wanted to do something global. And that meant not having job support. That meant doing freelance stuff. And now I'm studying religion. And I want to go into academia and I want to write. And it means that all the pressure's on me. And I remember there was a specific moment where I was like, okay, I want to do this stuff. And I'm scared, but it's my calling, it's my passion, it's something that I'm working out. I mean, even now, I feel like I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but I'm trying. I'm really trying. And I had this conversation with my fiance, and I was scared because everything's on me. I sound like I just, apply for a job, and then I get the job, and then I have the job. Doing the work that I want to do is a constant upward battle. But I had that conversation, and I still felt very uneasy about it. And then the next day, I got an email that I won an award for my writing, and I got $500 and a lot of recognition on my campus. And it was just one of those things where I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. And this is what I'm talking about. I mean, there's so many other stories in similar vein, but that was just one little anecdote. Fear is uncomfortable as long as you decide that it is. And when I had that moment, I mean, I don't know, I've really tried to think of my life as if I'm a hero on a journey. And I think of all of my challenges as some, like, mythical, anecdotal, allegorical blessing. And I love seeing my life as a divine story. And with that comes an entire mind shift that I guess is irrelevant to what I'm specifically talking about now, but one of the perks of it is that everything becomes a game, and everything becomes a challenge to overcome, and not an obstacle. There's no such thing as problems, I've learned, only ways to improve and ways to adapt. And fear is the biggest blessing for that reason, because someone who is courageous and disciplined and curious despite fear can accomplish anything. Which is, again, it's cliche, but it's cliche for a reason, okay? I've learned not to fear speaking in cliches because there's weight to it. That's why it's so, overused, possibly. Fear is awesome, and I'm at a point now where when I feel fear about possibilities in my life, I feel apprehension, uncertainty. There is an excitement to it. I don't really feel anxiety anymore. And it's been such a relief. I really enjoy life because I've decided that I will. And fear sucks, dude, but as long as you let it. For me, fear is the final checkpoint before the end of the game. I see it and I think, okay, this is what the universe is giving me, this is what the game is giving me, this is what God is giving me, whatever you may believe. It still stands that fear is that last obstacle. And when you really think of it that way, it kind of diminishes and it just becomes this thrill. That's what I'm talking about when I say, like, alchemization. I really love to view emotional regulation and challenging my emotions and my ego as becoming an alchemist, because you're turning something that isn't really that valuable into gold, which is excitement and passion and divine awareness. And that's what I'm doing with fear, and that's what I want you to do with fear. Is next time you feel fear, whether it be, dropping out of school, taking that gap year, or relocating for a job, or even going on, like, a trip where you think that you might not have enough money for it, like, whatever it is, I want you to, and of course within reason, sometimes fear is very important, okay? Like, you should fear a lot of things, but use your best judgment. You know what I'm talking about. I want life to become an adventure for you, and that means being excited about fear, because fear is just a signal that something is uncomfortable. It doesn't have to be what stops you. In fact, fear should be the sign that you must go forward. You must march on. And I think I'll leave it with that. Again, please subscribe if you even remotely enjoy this content. I'm pretty new to YouTube, and I feel like my videos are getting progressively more fluid. I'm getting better at talking with the camera, so I promise you that better content will be uploaded within the next couple months. And I really salute the divinity in you, and I'm proud of you if you're on a pursuit spiritually, or, trying to conquer your ego, whatever it may be, whatever led you to click on this video. I'm proud of you that this is something that you're pursuing. And have a great day. Thank you.